I remember when Freya and I traveled to this realm as children. The desert was healthy and full of life back then. I can't help but fear that era has ended for good and our efforts here are futile.
It's a fair concern. Healing this land will take more than a pair of singing Halfgoofa. But I have to believe, in the long run, we're doing right by Alfheim. Well, best we... start looking for a way underground.
Keep a lookout for a cave!
Jewelry.
Oh? Put it on one of my horns. Let's see if I can pull it off.
No.
An archive of knowledge.
No sign of the Light Elves.
For now.
Maybe they've left for the day, and we can browse at our leisure.
These texts alone are not enough to end the Elven War. But restricting their access only serves those who wish to prolong it.
Taking a page out of Odin's book.
Aye. Quite the advantage for the Light Elves.
This book is sealed, but there is an inscription. The consul.
Big Veer spoke of an exile of the same name. Odds are he'd like a gander at that particular text. Another one of Dvalin's diagrams.
You spoke of his conscience.
Aye. He saw that the Aesir would likely use his powerful weapons to cut down his fellow dwarves. So he ripped out his design pages and scattered them.
And what of him?
Well, the All-Father found out. He wasn't terribly pleased.
Swappa.
Ah, it appears the librarian would like a word. Sounds like she wants that journal back.
No.
Field strike!
Having fun, kid.
Left side, Kratos!
I did not hear you, son.
They're healing!
Dios Alpha. Thought. Megivita. Helga Brotina.
She thinks she's protecting them by hiding all this knowledge away.
The elves do not need protection from their
What's up, man?
They need access.
You can hear me?
Okay, check mark button Dios T Bendiga.
You can hear me? Hello?
Yes, now I can.
What's up, dude?
I'm impressed. Thought you were going to end her.
When last we traveled here, after Faye passed, I killed an elf of great importance. The ramifications were dire. I do not wish to make the same mistake twice.
I see an entrance! Freyr never saw how poorly these lands fared in his absence, did he? He would appreciate our efforts out here.
Aye. Hearing the Song of the Sands again is a rare privilege, even if it's only a solo act.
Or a duet, once this Hofgufa is free. This architecture. It is not of the Dark Elves.
An abandoned ancient settlement by the looks of it. Built long before the Lightwell's creation.
More hive matter as well.
I'd say we're on the right track then.
Blocked.
Could I reach it from down here? No effect. Perhaps a different arrow. This kind of hive material is sensitive to sound. How odd. When I last came here with you and Atreus, I assumed the absence of Alpheim's light was an aberration. I didn't realize it was covered by hive matter.
Aye. And as far as the Dark Elves are concerned, it's that light column in the center of the temple that's the aberration. Just look at how old some of these surfaces are. Far older than the Lightwell, or even our trapped Hafgifa for that matter.
That's quite the empathetic perspective, Mimir.
Dangle from a burly god's backside for a few winters, and you'll find yourself looking for all sorts of new perspectives.
More hive, but denser.
Brother! The wee bastard! bastard's about to explode!
Enemy! To your left!
Behind you, watch out!
The Alpha!
Enemy on the left!
Light up. Hit the light! The Alpha! Light elves don't often travel underneath the barrels, do they?
Territory changes hands often in Alfheim. Or so it appears.
Big Veer did mention that these ruins have historical significance for the Light Elves. I assume they're only here to keep intruders out.
Well, at least they tried.
Good eye. Let's continue, shall we? Another to the left!
Behind you, Fredo! I hope freeing these Hofgufas will allow them to breed again. It was a dazzling display once. The skies of Alfheim filled with their song.
I imagine it's the lack of fresh light that's caused this pair to grow abnormally large. No use in having babies if there's nothing for them to feed on.
Trying to protect their children from a harsh world. I can relate. I wonder if these two comprehend the choice they face when free.
What choice do you speak of?
The life cycle of the Hofgufas. In order to breed, they must pass on their light to their children.
And without light, they will die.
I suppose that's all any of us can hope for in the end. That our death has purpose. That we can live on through our children. given another chance, I know what choice I would make. Good. Almost there. Well done. Time to set it loose.
Aye. Back to the surface then.
A fight.
Used in many of Freyr's blessings, I imagine.
The fate of these creatures reminds me of a story.
Does it?
There once was a blacksmith whose king commanded him to construct a box that could contain all the evils of the world. But no metal could hold such a power. So the blacksmith used the flame of...
Kratos, is this a story meant to ease my grief?
Perhaps it is just a story. A way to pass the time.
I appreciate the sentiment, but, well, your stories,
About my stories.
I wouldn't exactly call them a comfort.
Fair. Mimir is the better storyteller.
Now don't sell yourself short, brother. You've come a long way from the days of laconic fables.
It's okay. Finish your story, Kratos.
The blacksmith's daughter was the key to unlocking the box. He died trying to protect her from those who would open it.
Well, at least it's a relatable story.
It appears we've overstayed our welcome in Alfheim.
Time to end this story.
If my stories are of no comfort, take solace in knowing you did what you thought was best for your son's safety. Even these creatures know there is little choice for a parent. You are not alone.
I'm not, am I? And now neither are they. Thank you, Kratos. This land sings once more. We've done good here.
No rush to leave yet, is there? Who knows what kind of adventures await us in our freshly lit barrens?
'Hunted many a monument to Freyr. I wonder if he ever saw this.
This statue may have survived Freya's absence, but a truce clearly did not. Monuments are useless to those who ignore their message.
He didn't create a truce through diplomacy alone. His godhood, his very presence is what healed this land and allowed peace to take root. But once he left, he had to have known what...
Well, he had good reason to leave. Some jackass convinced his sister to marry a madman.
Monuments are useless. Why restore them?
It was hidden for some time. Perhaps now it can serve as a reminder.
Aye. Nothing reminds people of their history like chiseled, well-lit marble. Looks like we can read the inscription now as well.
light from the crystals. It is in the sand now.
Would you look at that? Freyr's gift endures after all. Should I say, his presence?
You are not funny.
Even when Freyr was actually here, the peace was fragile. Surely a bit of extra light in the desert isn't enough to make it last.
Before I met Faye, I could not imagine a life of peace. After her death, in our travels to Jotunheim, I found peace on my own. It remains my responsibility to make.
I hope his guidance will last this time.
We will see. But he has given them a chance.
Hit the light! Watch your left! Light elf architecture. It's massive.
Locked. It requires 2 keys.
What are they keeping then?
That's the beauty of a locked door. It could be anything. Monsters, treasure. Knowing our luck, it'll be a bit of both. Perhaps we can bring these cute animals back to Vanaheim, or Midgard even. Becky and Svanna could use the company. We have kennels.
It would not go well for them. Once a predator becomes accustomed to a land, it is cruel to move them.
I suppose you're right. It just seems lonely out here.
It is peaceful. They have each other. It is enough. A vengeful berserker gravestone.
The optics stalling.
The enemies are On your guard, Kratos!
His kingdom, Lara. You once lived there.
Before I shacked up with the Aesir, aye. Another of my spectacular failures.
In capturing these spirits, you seek redemption.
I just want to send these bloody monsters to hell where they belong. Wouldn't exactly call it redemption, but I know I'll feel better once it's over. What's your right?
Huh.